Dynafit delivered a really solid effort with its latest trail running shoe, known simply as the Dynafit Trail. After having previously tested the Dynafit Alpines and the Ultra 100s, I got to spend a few weeks with the trail, crossing about 60 miles of some of the gnarliest and most technical terrain that my Blue Ridge Mountains have to offer. The new Dynafit Trail really has its work cut out for it, because the brand's Ultra 100s are probably one of my top 3 favorite trail running shoes of all time. I already have about 350 miles on those, and I've purchased a second pair just because I liked them so much. So I was very eager to see how the new trail shoe would compare. Whereas the Ultra 100s were, as the name implies, intended for ultra marathoners, the new trail shoe is marketed to fit an interesting niche, namely built for someone who may run on pavement for a stretch from their home or their workplace before actually reaching the trailhead. The smaller and more tightly packed chevron lugs give it some of those hybrid capabilities, which I found useful on some routes that combine to have paved areas, gravel sections, and more traditional trails. While this made the adaptation to pavement more comfortable and seamless, the new design didn't particularly like being in the sloppy stuff, and often left a good bit of mud caked between the lugs. The shoe overall is very comfortable. It's got a little bit of thicker padding than some of the other Dynafits I've tried, which makes for a very nice run on some of the harder surfaces, but it does reduce a lot of the ground feel that you may have. The shoe weighs in at just over 9 ounces, so a little lighter than what I was used to with the previous pairs, even though it had what I'd like to call a fuller feel to it. It's got a nice springy midsole, an area that I know that Dynafit has been working on in its most recent generations of shoes. Because I've been fighting injury around my Achilles tendon lately, I appreciate the 6mm drop and the relatively snug fit these shoes provided me around the heel, thanks in part to that cinch-like heel preloader feature that Dynafit has. My heels are slimmer than most, so slippage is a common issue I have, especially when the terrain is rocky or rooty or otherwise technical and uneven. Steering into the hybrid nature of these shoes, Dynafit opted for Vibram XS Trek technology in the outsole, as opposed to probably a more common and more well-known Mega Grip sole. The XS Trek sole is a bit more versatile and multi-sport oriented than the Mega Grip is, allowing the trail shoe to span its various environments more easily. Throughout the 60-ish miles that I put on these shoes, I did 3 runs that were over 10 miles, with the longest one being a little over 13 miles. The flat laces, tongue design, and slighter wider than normal toe box made for some consistently comfortable runs. Never once was foot fatigue an issue or moleskin needed after the fact. The biggest thing to know when buying these $150 shoes is to either try them on in a store or be prepared to exchange them for a different size. I say that because Dynafit's sizing traditionally has been all over the place, especially the last couple of years. I'm normally an 11 in most brands, but every pair of Dynafits I've had have fit completely differently. The Alpines were crazy narrow and tight at size 11.5, while the Ultra 100s were absolutely perfect at that size. The Trails were way oversized at 11.5, and even the 11s, which I tested, were probably a hair larger than I normally like to wear my trail shoes. So dialing in that correct sizing might be a little difficult, though I'd say the Trails are probably the most true to size shoes from Dynafit I've ever worn. I hope that gives you a good look at the new Dynafit Trail. They'll do a great job of filling the needs between a pavement and a trail hybrid type of shoe. And so far, over the miles I've put them on, they've performed wonderfully. If you like this review and are interested in other adventure content, please check out ActionHub.com or take a peek at our YouTube channel.